Okay, so let's continue. Let's go ahead and jump into the next block of code, which is the loop. Okay, so the first thing we run into in the loop is another for loop. Okay, so let's look at the condition of this for loop. Well, the condition happens to be the exact same thing as in the setup for loop. Okay, so again, this pin equals 0, this pin less than pin count, this pin plus plus. And what do we do inside this for loop? Well, we do a digital write. Well, what do we do a digital write to? Oh, there's our array again, LED pins. Well, okay, so LED pins of what? LED pins of this pin. Well, what is this pin? The first time through the for loop, it's going to be 0. So digital write LED pins 0. And what do? We write high voltage. So again, what does that refer to? So what's going to happen there? Well, what's going to happen is digital write, what it actually sees right there is it sees the 0th element of the LED pins array. And what is the 0th element? Well, it's the number 2. Okay, so what's going to happen? Pin 2 is going to have high voltage written to it. So 5 volts is going to be applied to pin 2. And then we're going to delay for 100 milliseconds, the timer variable there. And then what do? We digital write LED pins, this pin, which again refers to the 0th pin in this array, and we're going to write low voltage. So we'll write 0 volts. So again, it's going to refer back to 2. So it starts by referring to 2, digital write high voltage, so the LED turns on. We do a delay, the LED turns off. What have we done? We have blinked the 0th element in the LED pins array. Then we get to the end of that for loop. We're going to increment this pin, so we're adding 1. So now this pin is equal to 1. Is the condition met? Is 1 less than pin count? Again, pin count was 6. Yes, 1 is less than 6. So let's go ahead and jump into that array again. So digital write LED pins 1. Okay, so what is the 1th element of the LED pin array? It's the number 7. So we're going to write high voltage to pin 7. Okay? I know, a little confusing. I hope you're getting the gist of this. I think you're just going to have to go through and mess with it to really wrap it around your head. But, I mean, that's just, I think you can see where this is going. So we're going to blink the first element in the array, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, and the 6th element in the array. That's how this is going to work. And then the condition won't be met in that for loop. And then what's going to happen? Well, we will bust out of that for loop and we'll go into the next for loop. Okay, so let's talk about this last for loop. Okay, so the what's in the parentheses is a little different here. We've got this pin equal to pin count minus 1. Okay, so pin count was 6. 6 minus 1 is 5. So this pin is equal to 5. And then the condition is this pin is greater than or equal to 0, and then this pin minus minus. So let's just see where this takes us. Okay, so where do we start? So pin count minus 1. Again, we determined that was 5. So let's check the condition. Is 5 greater than or equal to 0? Yes, 5 is greater than or equal to 0. So let's execute the code. So digital write LED pins of 5. Okay? So what does 5 refer to in LED pins array? Well, 5 refers to the 6th element in the array. Okay? I know, a little weird. It's just how it works. So what do? We write high voltage to pin 5. We delay, and then we're going to write low voltage to pin 5. Okay, so now we're at the end of the for loop. What do? We subtract 1 from this pin. So this pin minus 1. And what would that give us? So that'd be 5 minus 1. That's 4. Let's check our condition. Is 4 greater than or equal to 0? Yes, 4 is definitely greater than 0. So let's go back into our for loop. Digital write LED pins of 4. Rather, what does LED pins of 4 refer to? Well, LED pins of 4 refers to the 5th element in the LED pins array. And that 5th element, if you recall, is the number 5. So the number 5, the 5th pin, is going to have high voltage applied. We're going to wait 100 milliseconds, and then it's going to have low voltage applied. And then we're going to get to the end of that for loop, and we're going to decrement this pin again. So now it's going to be the number 3. Okay? And the condition will be met, and we'll go through again and again. So I hope you're getting the gist of how this for loop and this array works. So what did we do? The first loop in the for loop, what does it do? It blinks all the elements in that array in sequence as it's ordered in the array, and then the next one just reverses that sequence. And then we'd start the for loop over again. So we start the loop function over again, and the loop function starts with that for loop. And that for loop goes through and it lights the LEDs up in that array, and then the next for loop reverses that order, and it does it over and over and over again. Okay, so let's go ahead and verify and upload this code, and then let's take a look at it. Okay, so you can see the sequence of the LEDs. It has the sequence, it goes up and then it goes back. It kind of goes in that sequence, and then it does that sequence in reverse. So it's not like our last one in the for loop where it just went left and right and left and right. Now it's kind of jumping around in this scattered sequence. Okay, well, that was this tutorial on arrays. I know it's a little tricky. Okay, I think I said last one for loops was going to be the most tricky. I would say that this tutorial will have probably been the most tricky, because we're doing for loops now, which is a complicated tool, and we're also including arrays, which is, the indexing is a little strange. Okay, so you're awesome. You just got through this. I hope you get it. Make sure to do that challenge. Thanks so much for taking the time to listen, and I can't wait to see you next time. Bye.